Hello?
It's 6:30.
Hello? Good evening, everyone. Before we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, let's take a moment of silence to pray for the new month of April. April is the beginning of springtime, and for many, the rebirth of one's awakening for their potential. Let us take a moment to pray, reflect, and move forward in a positive way. And now let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Welcome to the Town Board meeting this Thursday evening, April 3rd, 2025. For those of us visiting for the first time, I'd like to introduce the board and the town clerk. Present here tonight, we have Council Member Brandon Calori. Next to him is Council Member Sandra Capriglione. In the middle is Council Member Kelly Rinaldi. Next to her is Deputy Supervisor Teresa Valongo, and to the right of me is Town Clerk Nicole Young. I'm Kate Luciani, Town Supervisor, and thank you everybody for attending the Town Board meeting tonight. Just to let everybody know, before we go into the public comment on agenda items, we are going to be tabling the noise ordinance. So with that, we will open the floor to public comments on agenda items only. We'll start with the first row, next row.
I see you moved the podium forward.
I moved it. I moved it so you can't hide, Maria.
People know who I am. Blue lights stay on. Maria Hunter, on new items, new business, letter H, I know you probably won't be able to answer any of the questions, but I just had some concerns, that was before this board, for review in 2024 with the rate increase. And it was denied, if I can remember correctly. But I see it's 3 months into the year, we're looking to do an increase to $45.78 an hour. And I'm presuming it's a 5 to 7% increase that's being proposed. And is there money, I'm just gonna throw questions, is there money in the 2025 budget to accommodate this increase? And how many people have been hired in the past 12 months for the court system to help alleviate and spread the work amongst everyone? And I estimated that it would possibly be an increase of $3 per hour times a 40-hour work week, which town employees do get a paid hour. And this is what really bugging me. And it comes out to about $120 a week. This is all approximate numbers. I'm just guessing at what the salaries are. If we take remaining weeks in the year, which is 38 weeks, for 2025, that's gonna be a total of approximately a $4,500 pay increase, which was not anticipated in the budget time last year. Next year, without any additional pay increases, if they propose this in the budget time in another upcoming months, and I have no ill will against Ms. Guerin, she'll be making and earning $95,000 plus or minus just a base salary. And that doesn't include when she works in the court in the evenings. I'm not sure if it's a 3 or 4 hour mandatory pay. That's time and a half, so that's over and beyond the $95,000 approximate that she may be earning. We, as a resident, we've incurred an increase between 10 and 11% for this year. Where is this money coming from? And in my opinion, this isn't being fiscally responsible to us as taxpayers. So those are just my concerns on that item, because is this gonna become a precedent that what if someone from another department says, well, I'm working a lot, or I'm entitled to money, and most people don't realize that full-time employees, you work your 40-hour day, you get health benefits, you get paid for your hour, and anything that's over your 40 hours per contract with unions, you get time and a half, or comp time.
Sorry, Maria.
That's okay. So it's becoming a point where do we stop and where do we become fiscally responsible to the residents. And I wanna, am I almost there with my 3 minutes? On item number G with the total credit card, I wanna thank Supervisor and Kate and Nicole for listening to my concerns last week. And after I thought about it, I see it's on the agenda. The board president sent me an email saying that I should be educated because what I said at the meeting 2 weeks ago was incorrect. And that I should be appeased at her answer. That's one thing to send me as an email. She posted it as the board president under her personal email, that email that was sent to me. That was not right. I know you can't do anything about the Board of Trustees, but just keep in mind that there are a couple of them that are not very pleasant people, and it's very shameful that they felt to attack me. And with this letter G that you're doing tonight, what I mentioned 2 weeks ago, I was kind of right, because last year and this year, no one had the library authorizing them to use a credit card to do purchases. And that's what I showed Supervisor and the clerk, so thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Next row. Back row.
Robert Hunter, there is no reason why this step-in grade and salary increase can't wait till this year's budget session in October, November. That way, it's out there, the public can talk about it if they want during the sessions. And like Maria said, it's a bad precedent. And it's not fiscally responsible because you're moving money around now. And that just sets a precedent to do some other kind of smoke and mirrors. Wait and postpone it.
I'm just gonna comment that this actually is in the budget, so we're not doing anything that's not fiscally responsible, and certain things come up throughout the year that people are not ready for, and as a board, we made a decision with the same thing that we would make a decision during a budget season. So therefore, those were the decisions that we made as board. So thank you for your comments, though, I appreciate it. Anybody else? All right, then we'll move on to administrative business. Acceptance of minutes. Can I have a motion and a second to accept the receipt of the minutes of the meeting held on March 20th, 2025?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? It was Teresa and Brandon at the same time.
Brandon, can I have a second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Next is approval of abstract 6. Nicole, can you please read the abstract for this meeting?
Abstract 6 containing vouchers 250537 through 250630 and totaling $154,291.68.
Thank you, Nicole. Can I have a motion and a second to approve abstract 6 as read?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Next is modifications to the 2025 budget. Nicole, can you please read the modifications submitted for the 2025 budget and prepare for this meeting?
We have buildings and grounds increasing A 3021 state aid court facilities by 30,000 and increasing A 1620 465 blacktopping by the same 30,000. Under the police, we have increasing B 9061.800R dental insurance for retirees by $1,395.72 and increasing B 0599 appropriated fund balance by the same $1,395.72.
Thank you, Nicole. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the modifications to the 2025 budget as read and explained?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Next is appointments to the Parks Committee member. After meeting with various candidates to fill the open role in the Parks Recreation Committee, the town board and I have selected Melvin Mahia.
Yeah.
Mahia, okay. Can I have a motion and a second to approve Melvin Mahia as a Park and Rec Committee member serving from April 3rd, 2025 through December 31st, 2031?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Kelly,
Don't like myself.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. You can turn it on, it's just very low.
It doesn't work. I can't hear myself.
Really? So Kelly, put the microphone into it so she can. Alright, next is to schedule a public hearing for ILL2 of 2025 e-bike and e-scooters. Can I have a motion and a second to schedule a public hearing for an introduction of local law number 2 for mandatory helmet usage while operating an electric bike and electric scooter for Thursday, May 1st, 2025?
Make the motion.
I will second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. There's no old business, so we'll move on to new business. Authorize the town clerk to advertise for bids, propane, gas, and tank. Can I have a motion and a second to authorize the town clerk to advertise for bids in the Times Herald for propane, gas, and tank, which will cover the town from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026?
I'll make the motion.
I did.
Kelly? Sandy?
Sandy.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Please note when submitting any bids, they must be in a sealed envelope and they can either be hand-delivered to the town clerk's office at 615 New York Route 32 or mailed into P.O. Box 1004, Highland Mills, New York, 10930. Next, to authorize the town clerk to advertise for bids for bulk chlorine. Can I have a motion and a second to authorize the town clerk to advertise for bids in the Times Herald for bulk chlorine, which will cover the JP Memorial Pool for summer of 2025?
Make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Please note when submitting any bids, they must be in a sealed envelope. They can either be hand-delivered to the town clerk's office at 615 Route 32 or mailed to P.O. Box 1004, Highland Mills, New York, 10930. Next is to authorize the town clerk to advertise for bids number 2, fuel oil. Can I have a motion and a second to authorize the town clerk to advertise for bids through the Times Herald Record for number 2 fuel oil for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026?
Motion.
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Again, please note when submitting any bids, they must be in a sealed envelope. They can either be hand-delivered to the town clerk's office, 615 NY 32, or mailed to P.O. Box 1004, Highland Mills, New York, 10930. Next is the standard workday resolution for N. Young. The town clerk, Nicole Young, has submitted her standard workday and reporting resolution for elected and appointed officials. Thank you, Nicole, for submitting. Can you please read the resolution?
The resolution is to resolve that the town of Woodbury hereby establish the following standard workdays for these titles and will report to the officials of New York State and local retirement system based on their records of activities. For myself, Nicole Young, the town clerk, at 21.19 hours monthly.
Thank you, Nicole, for submitting. Can I have a motion and a second to accept the completed standard workday and reporting resolution as read?
Make a motion. A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you. Next is a request for exemption status of various properties owned by the Village of Curious Joel. This has been a request which continues to come through from legal counsel representing the Village of Curious Joel. Nicole, can you please read the resolution?
Whereas on or about February 27, 2025, the town of Woodbury received a written request from the Village of Curious Shoal seeking to have certain properties owned by the village located within the town exempt from the taxation pursuant to real property tax law, section 406(3). And whereas the village's request seeks an exemption from taxation for the parcels identified on the town's assessment roll by the following section, block, and lot: 247-5-25, 247-5-3, and 247-5-2, based upon the assertions that the parcels are used for water supply purposes. And whereas in litigation commenced against the town By the Village of Kier Stroll, the Orange County Supreme Court determined that the town was fully within its rights to deny the village's exemption request for the same properties in prior years. Now therefore be resolved that pursuant to the authority vested in the town board by real property tax law, section 4063, the requested tax exemptions for the properties listed are denied.
Thank you, Nicole. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the resolution as read?
Motion.
I'll
Second.
Sure. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, can you do a roll call?
Yes. Councilmember Calori.
Yes.
Councilmember Capriglione.
Yes.
Councilmember Rinaldi.
Yes.
Councilmember Luongo. Yes. Supervisor Luciani.
Aye, yes. Motion passed, thank you. Next, we're gonna authorize the supervisor and town board member to sign the RBT service document. Can I have a motion and a second to authorize myself and Deputy Supervisor Luongo to sign the updated 2025 RBT service agreement for accounting support covering the town as of, it was December 31st, 2024 through the end of the year of December 31st, 2025.
Motion.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Next is to authorize the use of the town credit card for the library S. Johnson/T. Allen. Can I have a motion and a second to authorize Tracy Allen, acting library director, and Sarah Johnson, library director, usage of the town of Woodbury library credit card? I'll make the motion. Bank of America credit card. I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next, authorize step grade increase for C. Garen. Can I have a motion and a second to authorize this step and grade increase for Carol Garen from a grade level 15 to a 16 at the new hourly pay rate of $45.78.82 in accordance of the 2025 schedule and effective on Monday, April 7, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Next, authorize the supervisor to sign the permit for Ridge Road Bridge. Can I have a motion and a second to authorize myself to sign the permit for the Ridge Road Bridge, proposing the replacement of the temporary bridge and its structure along with the installation of our scour protection along the underlying stream. The exiting foundation, my God, and metal bridge will be demolished. Then the new structure and permanent precast concrete culvert will be installed. I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. In simple words, the New York State DOT has officially started the proposal undertaking of the Ridge Road Bridge replacement and will not have any impact on properties listed and reviewed within the area. Next is a resolution of support, the Orange County Bikeway Vision Plan. Nicole, can you please read the resolution submitted from Vision Hudson Valley?
A resolution in support of the Orange County Bikeway Vision, whereas the County of Orange is seeking to promote and encourage a bikeway vision throughout the county, and whereas this vision is outlined in a publication entitled Orange County Bikeway Vision Plan, prepared by the Orange County Department of Planning, dated July 25th, 2023, and whereas this bikeway vision seeks to establish a non-motorized transportation system throughout Orange County, New York, that provides a mode for the most vulnerable users of our roadways to travel and recreate safety and stress-free both within communities and over long distances. And whereas the development of this bikeway supports Orange County's overall goals of safe, convenient, affordable, and comfortable transportation options for all residents and encourages economic development throughout the county while honoring 4 key priorities for non-motorized development: A, safety; B, mobility; E, economic competitiveness; and D, equity and access. And whereas interconnectivity with Orange County and with the adjoining municipalities is a desirable outcome to ensure these key priorities are achieved, and whereas the town board of the town of Woodbury wishes to go on record expressing their support of the bikeway vision as outlined by the county in Orange in the aforementioned publication. Now therefore it hereby be resolved that the town of Woodbury Town Board of the Town of Woodbury expresses their unanimous and complete support for the implementation of the bikeway vision described here and above, and it is further resolved that a copy of this resolution shall be forwarded to the county so that the support of the Town of Woodbury for the establishment of the bikeway may be made known to all interested parties. And I will also send a certified copy of the resolution to the county.
Thank you, Nicole. Can I have a motion, a second, to have approved the Orange County Bikeway Vision Plan Resolution as read?
Motion.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Chloe?
Aye.
Councilmember Capriglione?
Aye.
Councilmember Rinaldi?
Aye.
Councilmember Luongo?
Aye.
Supervisor Luciani?
Aye. Motion passed. Thank you, everybody. Next is acknowledging required audit examination for the court. On January 9, 2025, an annual audit occurred in all departments responsible for collecting monies. Today, we are officially acknowledging to the unified court system that the town of Woodbury did audit and reviewed Woodbury court records for the calendar year of 2024. Can I get a motion in a second?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Now we'll move on to public comments. Does anybody in the public have anything they'd like to say? We'll start with the first row. Next row.
There you go. Maria Hunter. As odd as this is going to sound, I would like to see this board make another motion to give the deputy supervisor her $1,200 for the year remaining, because it was denied by this prior board, or this board was in, if we can give a raise of $4,500 to another employee, being that the deputy supervisor has been assisting the supervisor in different events, and she's been there visibly, I would request that this board seriously consider giving the deputy supervisor the remaining of the $1,200 for her title for the rest of the year. And this is a sad note for the Justice Department. Being that there was money in the budget to accommodate this $4,500, they knowingly had the money in that budget to accommodate this, knowing that they probably wouldn't get it last year. And they probably put the money in the budget without this board, minus Councilwoman Rinaldi, knowing about it. So shame on the.
I'm sorry, but that's not what happened.
No.
We had a death in the courts, and so there was a change in pay, and then we also had somebody else who was supposed to be hired that they didn't hire, so it had nothing to do with them hiding money.
Not hiding money, put it in for 2025 to have money in their budget.
But that's not how it went.
Where it comes, wherever they find it. I just find this very unsettling between all the boards and everyone, that this is being done without the public's input at a public hearing for the budget. I do appreciate your comments, thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Is anybody else in that row? The next row? Last row? Okay, we'll move on to department and board member comments. Maria, do you have anything that you have to say?
I don't have anything to say for beautification, thank you.
Okay, Joey?
I'm sure I'm going to steal your thunder, but as you see, there's a brand new floor here at the court. I want to thank my Buildings and Grounds Department. Over the weekend, they broke their butts and they got this all done with new molding all over the place. So I just want to give them kudos, because I think it looks like $1 million right now. So little by little, you know, we're getting there. Second, in case I forgot, the chairs came in for the senior center, so they got 6 extra chairs there. So the Mahjong ladies will be able to sit in a nice chair for a couple hours instead of them other chairs. So, but that's all I have.
Don't
Thanks.
forget ice cream on Monday.
They're gonna love you for that.
Oh, yeah, ice cream
6
on
extra
Monday,
chairs.
yes.
Thank you, Joey.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks.
All right,
I'd say public office.
Attorney Brady. No?
Are you waiting on me to say anything,
No,
I don't
if you
have
have
to do
something
that.
input, you would like.
or? No, I think you're doing a great job.
Thank
That's
you.
my input.
All right, Councilmember Corey.
As always, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. You know, April is Autism Awareness Month. Out of my 20 nieces and nephews I have, one is on the spectrum. I absolutely love my nephew, and he absolutely loves his Uncle Brandon, and as we know, love can overcome anything. It is crucial for us as a society to foster understanding, promote acceptance, and advocate for the rights and needs of individuals with ASD. This will help us lead to a more inclusive and supportive society. I can tell you, we as a family support our family members with space, love, and insurance, and help in any way we can. The Gatehouse Museum and Learning Center is honoring Dorothy Morris and her legacy of history and community in Woodbury. I hope you join us for their spring opening and special exhibit on Saturday, April 26th, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So please come out and help pay tribute to a true Woodbury legend. If you haven't noticed by now, the Woodbury Police Department's annual egg hunt has been rescheduled to April 12th at the Res, with a rain date of April 13th. So let's hope for some better weather next weekend so our kids can have a fun-filled day thanks to our police department. And lastly, I'd like to wish all who celebrate a peaceful and joyous Passover. That's all I got. Have a great night, everybody. Get home safe.
Thank you. Councilmember Corriglione.
I'm not stealing any of yours tonight. So I'm sure everybody's seen it on Facebook, but I would just like to really thank, the fourth grade teachers at Central Valley Elementary, Kathleen Matola and Kristen Masserone, for the cereal box domino challenge. It was incredible, the video, the kids were so excited, and I'd also like to thank the parents for getting the cereal, because cereal is expensive for the kids to bring in, but they brought in almost 900 boxes that were shared between the Sacred Heart Food Pantry and the Highland Mills Food Pantry. Blaze Gomez picked up the story and she put it online, and there were almost, I think, 800 likes, and it was also on Channel 12 Hudson Valley News. So congratulations to them. I think it really taught the kids, not only was it exciting as it was a challenge, but it also helped them realize that they were doing good in their efforts, the cereal going to the food pantries. And I'll piggyback on that, the Highland Mills Food Pantry is having a pancake breakfast fundraiser at the Discovery Church on April 12th from 8 to 12. If you pre-register, it's $12, and at the door it's $15. So thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Councilmember Rinaldi.
I too, Brandon, am going to touch on, as we observe Autism Awareness, we celebrate World Autism Awareness Month by striving to deepen our understanding of the challenges faced in managing an autism diagnosis, championing the unique talents of individuals with autism, and committing to building a more inclusive society that offers everyone an equal opportunity to succeed. I have a friend who has twin boys, age 16 now, who have autism. My friend was told that her sons, Ethan and Evan, would never talk and that they couldn't have normal lives. The boys proved the doctors wrong, would never talk, and that they couldn't have normal lives. I'm sorry, the boys proved the doctors wrong. She has two smart and funny boys with hearts of gold. Her son, Evan, is a gold medalist in Special Olympics, and Ethan talks all the time, being master of knowledge about all countries. Together, let's continue to foster empathy, celebrate diversity, and build a world where everyone's unique talents shine brightly. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Supervisor Luongo.
Well, Brandon and Kelly, of course, have to take the social workers, Autism Acceptance Month, but I agree with everything that they say. It's very important to be aware and to accept those who have autism, because they do have their own talents. I do have a couple of family members whose kids have autism, and, you know, although it's hard, you know, to raise a kid that has autism, it's still very rewarding and, you know, amazing at what they can do. So April is also Stress Awareness Month. So, you know, it's good to be aware of your stressors and how it can affect your mental and physical health. I like to run. She doesn't. So I run and walk a lot. 32, and this month there's a 60-mile challenge that I'm doing. Don't have to run, but you can, and anyway, run, walk, swim, hike, and it's to raise money for the Alzheimer's Association, because my mom has Alzheimer's as well as my mother-in-law. So it helps raise money to help find a cure. So if you see me out there, you know, in all kinds of weather, it's because I'm trying to get to 60 miles. I'm already at 10, so it's like 50 more. Thank you. Yes, and so just, you know, take time for yourself and remember to unwind. And happy Passover to those who celebrate, and everyone have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Town Clerk Young.
I actually should have said this at the last meeting, but it was my last meeting back from surgery. I cannot thank Kelly, my deputy, enough for taking over meetings. I know that was probably a lot of stress on her, but she did very, very well by what I saw in the videos and what I heard from Kate. So I have to thank her, and I also have to thank Tracy for also keeping the fort down while I was home working, but they kept the fort down in the office. And I also just wanted to say, I got permission from her to talk about a Monroe Easter event this weekend. Since our event was canceled, they do have the Easter Bunny at Lake Street this weekend. And it's bring your own camera, I think it's $25, and it's just like going to the mall, except you're just driving down to Monroe. So if you had plans, like I did for my child this weekend, that could be an alternate thing to do.
Okay, I have a few things that I need to say. So, I, like everybody else, would like to honor Autism Awareness. You know, I think that what we're doing here in our community has been amazing and incredible. I have my brother, my nephew has autism. My son was diagnosed with autism when he was 3 years old. He was completely nonverbal, but luckily they got him into a preschool, and now he doesn't stop talking. And he's doing really well, and he's in kindergarten right now. And you know, it's amazing to see the difference when you get the services that you need for your children. And you know, as a mom of 5, having 5 children and noticing your child isn't talking at 18 months, not even saying mom or dad or making any kind of sounds, it was right away alarming. And my pediatricians kept telling me, oh, it's normal. And I said, nope, because I'm used to them all chattering. But, because of that, we got him into earlier intervention very early on, and that really helped him. So, these causes are near and dear to my heart. Also, what Brandon said about Dottie, we all love Dottie. The Gatehouse is near and dear to Dottie's heart. It's her everything. When I met her through running, that was her biggest issue. She wanted to make sure that the Gatehouse was taken care of and maintained. And the fact that, Joanne has stepped in and helped with the Gatehouse, I know it prides her. I try to go to, we call it Dinner with Dottie on Wednesdays, and I take my kids and we go over to her house and we have dinner with her. And, she loves talking with my kids, and she constantly talks about the library and being a teacher and the Gatehouse. And these are things that, she holds so much in her, and it comes out of her. And my girls just love to sit there and listen to her talk and her stories. So, if you can get out there and appreciate her, Dottie's been stuck in her house, and that's kind of why we started doing the dinner with her, because during the winter it's very hard for her to get out and move. So, I know it would make her feel really good to see the people in her community that she loves so much and has done so much for. So if you can make it, I'd appreciate it. Now I'm going to move on to the building and grounds. I told Joey I had to do this because, you know, being a supervisor, you have so many different departments, and, you know, it's kind of hard to pay attention to what every department does, but the building and grounds lately, like, you know, they're guys, they're doing guy things, and I kind of leave them alone. But lately, I've been following them around and what they're doing, and like Joey wasn't kidding, I came here on Saturday with my kids, I had them at the park, and I came here, and they were probably in the doorway right there doing the floor. When I came back on Monday, the floor was completely done, and they were putting the molding all around. They took out the front doors, as most of you can see when you come in. They boxed it out, and then they put little side boxes that they're gonna put flowers on. These guys have been absolutely incredible. The things that they've been doing this past winter, I said to Joey, I don't know how they have hours in the day. There's only 5 of them, and they have been absolutely incredible. They redid the bathrooms down here. They fixed everything up to ADA compliance. We got audited by the comptroller for ADA, and these guys have been going out there. They've been doing they have list of everything that they have to do. They went to the police station, they redid the entire bathroom, cut the whole wall out so it was ADA accessible. They redid the floors, new tile. They did the front room and painted it, Sue and Jackie's office. I mean, when I say I come and I see them sprinkled all over, doing the assessor's office, you know, painting, doing the ceiling, like, you know, with the stair, I mean, they have been amazing. And the fun thing was recently we got the res fixed. We had the trout brought to the res. And the guys were out there, it was freezing cold that day, and it was really cool. Joey told me when he was coming, and I went down there, and they, you know, put the trout in the res for fishing. And these guys are sitting out there in the cold while the fish are flapping around, getting them all wet, and, you know, they loved it, and they enjoyed it, and they were taking the fish out, and they were taking pictures, so I could put it online to show people the golden trout, the rainbow trout, the brown trout. So if you're a fisherman, you can start fishing right now, and if you get your golden fish, take a picture and you will get a prize. So, you know, like I said, there's so many things that they have been doing. We are working on, they did the building and grounds parking lot. We had a new guy who saved us so much money by tearing up the back building and grounds parking lot. That would have cost so much money. And, you know, they did the whole back of the parking lot, so when you go to the res now, you can see that. They're working on the bocce ball court, right, Joey? We have that on the calendar, the pickleball court. We've been having meetings about the skate park. And like I said, I just don't know how they do it, and I'm completely floored over the amount of work that they have been doing. So, have we mentioned the PBA Easter egg on how it changed? Okay, so you guys got that. And then I want to bring up the Passover pickup. So April 11th, we're going to have a Passover pickup. And if you have any bulk, we're asking anybody on April 8th or April 15th, they need to send an email into refuse, or they need to call Clara to set up your bulk pickup. And then also any food donations. So I'm asking anybody in the community that needs to clean out their houses for Passover. A few people have brought it to me. Instead of taking new boxes of things and just throwing it away, if they can take that and just bring it to the food pantry in Highland Mills and, you know, and donate it there. And then, just like Sandy had said, that whole thing at Central Valley Elementary, my kids were so excited to come home and tell me about the Domino's cereal boxes going down the school. And they're excited to be a part of it. They're excited to hear about the News 12. And, you know, I think these are the amazing things that we do here in our community when we all work together and we decide to do positive things. When we put our heads together, it's amazing what we can do. So with that, can I have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? It was Brandon and Miss Sandy. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Have a great night. Get home safe.